At the end of the last episode, you might recall that I had felt that we had blown it, that our chances in the title race had completely gone. But things can change very quickly in football, and even quicker, it seems, in Japan. Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to Rockin all over the globe, part 12, season 2, here at Hiroshima in Japan. And if you have been following along, you will recall in the last episode we had that 1-1 draw to finish against Kashima, and I thought that at that point that any chances of title hopes that we had were gone. But things can turn around very, very quickly, because at that point in the season, things were looking bleak. There were just 4 games left and we were sitting in third in the table, 6 points behind Kawasaki. But things have totally turned around in the last 3 games. And we are now currently sitting on top of the table, and we are 3 points clear of Yokohama, who we will play in our final game of the season. And 3 points is quite worrying. We have a superior goal difference of 3, so if they beat us by more than 2, then we could be in trouble in terms of the league title again. But all this has happened and Kawasaki have fallen from grace. 6 points clear of anybody else coming into the final 4 games. They are now 3 points behind as well, and they have a goal difference which is 4 inferior to us. So anything could happen in these final games of the season. We have the toughest game. We have to play against Yokohama at home. A draw will be enough for us to win the title. So what has happened? Well, Kawasaki's form has been absolutely dreadful over the last 3 games, and they have lost all 3 games that they have played recently. Similar story can be found for Osaka, who were at the time in second, and their form has been particularly poor as well, and they have picked up only 1 win in their last 4 games. And then there is Yokohama, a team like us who were struggling at the time, and they have put together a very satisfactory run, winning their last 4 games, and they are now in second place, and they are the main challengers because we will have to play them today, and it has come down to the wire. What a season this has turned out to be. We have to just focus on the fact that we only need a point, or we only need to lose by less than 2 goals, but we have to keep an eye on Kawasaki because Kawasaki's goal difference could also play a factor in this. So it's going to come right down to the last minutes of this last game of the season. But before we go into what has been happening on and off the pitch, as usual, if you are brand new to the channel and you like FM content and you love to see people suffer playing this game, then you are definitely in the right place. So why not subscribe, like, watch, comment, do all that good stuff and help the channel to grow. Help us to support the very, very good work of the British Heart Foundation. And so let's take a look at what has happened on the pitch since you were last with us. And results have taken a turn much for the better. And you will recall that we had that 1-1 draw in the final game in the last episode against Kashima. And at that point I was thinking any title hopes must be gone at this point. But we followed that with a 2-0 victory against Shimizu, and that restored faith a little bit. And since then things have got better and better. And we did play a friendly just to raise morale a little bit. But we followed that up with a home game against Osaka in the J1 League, and we beat them quite comfortably in the end by 2-0, although it did take us a while to get onto the scoreboard. That was then followed by a game away at Osaka, and we beat them by 1-0, scoring very, very late on, and that had meant that we had won our last 4 games. And so that brings us to the last 2 games of the season, and we have, as we have described, this amazing scenario now where we can win the title with a draw, but we are playing against second place and very much in form, Yokohama. And so that brings us to the final game of the season, as we have described, at the Hiroshima Peace Stadium, our home stadium, where we will be playing against Yokohama, a team who are definitely, like us, in form at the moment. It's first versus second, What a game that is to finish the season. And then we have to wait a month because 30 days later we will have to play the All Japan Cup final. Now, and this is very, very strange, and I'll have to go back to the beginning of the season to try and work out what goes on here, because I think the transfer window will start around about December. We will then be playing the cup final on the 1st of January. And then the season will begin on around about the middle of February. So this is going to be a very, very strange couple of months. And we will have to go forward 30 days before we play the All Japan Cup final. I'm not sure what happens with transfer windows and all that stuff. I don't even know if we can play through 30 days and still record this episode, or whether we're going to have to come back and show that game in a separate episode. I'm going to have to do some more research, and then we will let you know much later. If the transfer window starts, then I think we will have to come back for the cup final in a later episode, because this is as weird as I've ever seen anything. And how do you keep your players fit for 30 days while we are waiting for the cup final? This is the strangest thing that I have actually come across. In terms of current injuries, we just have the one out at the moment, Kai Kozumi. He is out with a gashed upper leg, expected to be out for between 5 to 7 days, so he's not expected to feature anywhere, either playing or on the bench in this final game. He, of course, would be ready for the cup final, but as a squad player, he's probably not going to be needed for this game. And if we take a quick look at the J1 League and we take a look at the season preview, we have excelled. We are currently top. We were supposed to finish in third place. Just looking at the Dream 11, I don't think we have any players in the Dream. Yes, we have Lee Dongguan and Notseda in the Dream 11. We have 2 players, plus we have a goalkeeper, of course. He is Nagoshi. So we have this young 19, 20-year-old goalkeeper, plus 2 midfielders in the Dream 11. It is a good side that we have, and we should be winning trophies. One of the interesting things that we do need to be aware of is as we come into the transfer window, and at the moment we are just waiting on one player who is coming in. He will join us on the 6th of January. So it does look to me like the transfer window will open after the cup final. So we are waiting on Atsuki Ito. He is a 26-year-old, can play, he's a very versatile player, can play as a DLP at the base of the midfield, can play as a centre mid on support, and he is a very useful central defender. He's 26 years old. He looks to me like he is a very, very good player. His weaknesses is he's not likely to adapt very quickly, and poor heading ability means that he is, although he has jumping reach of 14, poor heading ability means that as a centre-back he's going to have failings, but the rest of his attributes look very decent, and he's certainly going to be a very good cover for us all along that midfield and defensive positioning there. He can also play at left-back in a desperate situation, so I think he's a very good signing, and he is joining us on the 6th of January next season. We do have to be, of course, very careful with the squad planning, because we have to have always at all times in the match squad 4 players who are homegrown. We currently have 3, but we do have someone coming back from loan who will be coming in to take that 4th place. So that gives us the 4 that we will need in the match day squad that will be homegrown players. It's very important that we add to this every year, that we add at least one good homegrown player every year, probably a youngster who's looking to break through and to become a regular player in this team. And then the second thing that we have to worry about is that we can have no more than 4 players, no more than 5 players who are foreign in the matchday squad. And as the foreign players tend to be the better players, then that means that there are 5 and 4. That makes 9 players who have to be in the matchday squad. If you have more than 5 foreign players, and at the moment we have 6, then one of the foreign players will need to miss out on that matchday squad. So it's very complicated when it comes to selecting a team for each game of each game week. I think now we should just go and get the team ready for the game against Yokohama. It is going to be a huge finish to the season. 3 teams could still win it. If we draw, we will win the title. If we win, we will win the title. But if we get defeated, then anything in here could happen, and it could go to either us, Yokohama, or Kawasaki. It's a tough end fixture against Yokohama. Let's go and kick some balls. And just before we do go to the final game of the season, I have decided that it might be a little complicated and a little time-consuming in terms of creating the video for us to go the whole month before playing the cup final. So we are going to come back in a later episode, in the next episode, and play in the cup final. And that means that there probably will have been some business done, some business to report in the transfer window. But how much business that is going to be, it's hard to say, because at the moment the budgets have come in and we've only got a budget of £3.6 million, and our wage budget has not increased by much. In fact, we only have about 56,000 to play with each week. And so in terms of transfers coming in, it's very difficult to see where these players are coming from, and we're going to have to spend money very, very wisely. I'd like to bring in a couple of players if I can. We are going to have a couple of players leaving, so it's just a case of replacing those players with better players, and hopefully we'll be able to do that with the money, the limited money that we have. So now, okay, let's go and get this team ready. Let's go and play this final game of the season, home to Yokohama. 1 point means we will win the title, but if we lose the game, then anything could happen based on the goal difference being so close between positions 1, 2, and 3. We need to get that point. Let's go and kick some balls. And as we come into this final game of the season, the bad news is that we have picked up several injuries, including Lee Dongguang, who has unfortunately ruled himself out of this fixture, and he is possibly one of our biggest and most in-form key players. But let's hope that Ezequiel can do a very good job in his place. We are short at right wing now, should anything happen to Ezequiel, but Matsuda could probably cover on the right wing in an emergency. And so the team for today is Nagoshi in goal, with Matsuda, Fuji, Ominami and Sichi at the back, with Traore, Natsuda and Ezequiel in midfield, Endo, Mitsuta and Sotrio up front. Piros Sotrio, we need a big game from him today. He's second in the league in terms of goal scoring, and it is very, very important that he has a good game today and not one of his bad games. Now, I did tell them that we're not expecting to win. We're not expected to win. And I think that I should stick to that and stick to the plan. Be patient. It is a patient way we are playing, and we'll be fine. I don't want to tell them we're expected to win this. I don't want to put any pressure on them now. We just need to go out and try and get that point that we need. If we can get a point, we are crowned champions of the league, and that would be phenomenal in my first season here at Hiroshima. But it is going to be, I can't remember who are we playing. It's not Suda. Not Suda. Finds Mitsuda. He looks for Ezequiel. Ezequiel bursting up the field on the right. What a counter-attack this is. Ezequiel finds not Suda. Blasts it over the crossbar. And it's still 0-0. And what a chance that was. And I need to just quickly find out who we are playing. It's Yokohama, who are in second place. I'm just losing my mind here. It's very, very tense. At the moment, it is Yokohama who are the better team. We've had the better chance, but unfortunately we didn't take it. And playing with a balanced mentality, I've pushed the line a little bit further back because they're quite pacey, but we're still playing with a high line. It's the tactic that we've used and stuck with, but here they come. Here's the goal, and it's over the crossbar, and we've survived. And the goalkeeper, I think, got a hand to it. We are second best at the moment, And I do believe we have to take the game to them. I'm going to make changes at half-time, and we have to be better. And that's a very good save from Nagoshi at the near post from the corner. At the moment, we are a bit under the cosh, but can we take the lead before half-time? My nerves are absolutely shot. It's not Suda over the ball. Can he get it? Curls it and hits the crossbar. And once again, we've had an opportunity. Once again, Natsuda has not delivered the goods. We're coming up to half-time. I'm going to... I think I need to put them under a little bit more pressure. And I don't want to be... I'm going to say I think we've been unlucky so far. Several players like Piros, I wanted him to have a good game. Mitsuta is having a very poor game. And I needed these players to play better. And not Suda is not playing very well. And I'm going to tell them I'm not happy with their performance at the moment. We need to play better in the second half. I'm going to make some changes. And I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to push the lines up a little bit. And we are going to become a little bit more positive. I want to take the game to them. At the moment, it's not working out. We look like we're second best. And at the moment, we are still on top of the league, but it's not looking very good at the moment. If we lose a goal here, it could all change. And talking of changes, we are coming up to the point now where I think I need to go and make a couple of changes. Let's go and make some changes now. And so we have made a few changes just to bring some fresh legs onto the pitch. It's very, very tense. It's a 0-0 as it stands at the moment. I don't think there's going to be no more highlights before this game is over. We're coming into the last few minutes. I think I'm going to make some more changes. And so I have made one more change, and it is going to be a highlight. Which way is it going to go? We are into the space. We're into the box. We've scored. We have made it 1-0. As long as it is not offside, this looks like the title is going to Hiroshima. And that is extraordinary. What a performance this has been. And it's Endo who has put it in inside the 6-yard box. We just need to see this out now. I'm going to go to a balanced mentality just to see this out. The final 4 minutes, if they draw, if they score now, it makes no difference. We are going to win the title here. It is Hiroshima who are winning the title. We have done it in our first season. What a day this is. Somehow we have managed to turn this around. I can remember at the end of the last episode feeling almost despair as we watch this team lift the championship, lift the trophy, winning the title here. This is the third trophy we have won on our journey, and Asia is very fruitful with trophies. We have done it in our first season. I wish the board could be a little bit more generous with money in the transfer window, because this team has the makings of a good team, and it is from here that we could challenge for the Champions League. What a performance. What a day it's been. What a magnificent team. Champions. We have won the title in our first season. And it's hard to believe. Kawasaki have won their final game by the look of it. They beat Shonan by a 0-0. They have finished in second. What a performance this has been. I am absolutely ecstatic. We have won the J1 League. The board, obviously, are delighted with the progress that we have made. But what a performance. What a day. What a happy manager I am. But that's it for this episode. We are not going to play through the next month before the cup final. We're going to go away and play through the next month before the cup final and come back for the cup final. Can we win our second trophy this season? Or is it this season? It's halfway through the transfer window, I think. I'm not sure, but can we win our second trophy? We have to focus on transfers out, transfers in, and making this team bigger and better and ready for the Champions League. I have no idea when the Champions League will start either. So it's going to be very much a learning process in the next month. But we will be back after this month. We'll be back at the 1st of January for the cup final. And that will be against Kawasaki. Another very, very big game. Can we make it 2 trophies this season for Hiroshima. If you are brand new to the channel and you like FM content and you love to see people suffer playing this game, you are definitely in the right place. So why not subscribe, like, watch, comment, do all that good stuff. Help the channel to grow. Help us to support the very good work of the British Heart Foundation. I just don't believe what has happened over the last 4 game weeks. We've turned this league on its head, partly due to the fact that Kawasaki just completely collapsed. Is that what life in Japan is going to be like? We'll be back and we will find out what happens next season. Can we go on and win the Champions League? All that remains to be said now is stay safe, take care. We'll see you in the next episode.